So all these guys knew what was at stake. And I'm just ashamed that they put themselves and put their family and put the NBA in this position.
But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press.
The lights were supposed to shine on Victor Wembanyama's historic 40-point season opener, but instead the NBA woke up to handcuffs, FBI press conferences, and the Mafia. This isn't a movie plot. This is October 23rd, 2025, and the league is in absolute chaos. Thursday morning, just days into the NBA season, FBI Director Kash Patel drops a nuclear bomb on professional basketball. Operation Nothing But Bet.
Did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA? But we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
Tied to 4 major Italian crime families, Bonanno, Genovese, Gambino, and Lucchese. And right in the middle of this mess, NBA legends. Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, Finals MVP, arrested at home in Portland.
11 states is a monstrous thing. Never have we had a sitting head coach be involved in something like this. I think it's a stain on the NBA.
Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, taken from an Orlando hotel room at 6 a.m. in cuffs. Former player and coach Damon Jones caught leaking insider injury info for betting rings. This wasn't small-time gambling. It was a multi-million-dollar criminal web. Tens of millions stolen through rigged bets, high-tech poker scams, and leaked data that may have changed real NBA outcomes. FBI Director Patel said it best. The fraud is mind-boggling. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nola called it one of the most brazen corruption scandals since sports betting became legal.
My message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this. Your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can
subscribe, because this scandal just cracked the NBA wide open. And just like that, the NBA's season opener turned into a full-blown crime scene. Let's start with Terry Rozier, because his story sounds like a heist movie. Only this time, the loot wasn't money, it was his own stats. March 23rd, 2023. Hornets versus Pelicans. Within an hour before tip-off, sharp bettors placed around 30 suspicious wagers, all betting Rozier would underperform his averages. And what do you know? He played just 9 minutes, left with a foot injury, and every single stat dropped below expectations. Points, rebounds, assists, all under. Those bets paid out over $200,000 to his crew. According to the FBI, Rozier tipped off his childhood friend Denaro Laster, telling him he'd fake the injury and check out early. Laster hit the jackpot, drove through the night to Rozier's place, and the two allegedly counted their profits like something out of Ocean's 11. But here's the shocking part. The NBA already investigated this back in 2023. Sportsbooks flagged the weird betting patterns. The league brought Rozier in, checked his phone, did interviews, and cleared him. Now fast forward to 2025, and the FBI reopened the case, and things look bad. They're claiming Rozier was tied to at least 7 rigged games between late 2022 and 2024.
They had every opportunity to let him self-surrender. It's not a constitutional right, but it's a very typical courtesy when you've been dealing with the defense attorney for a while. And on a case, it's not a violent case in terms of Terry Rozier. So all they had to do, they could have called me at 6 o'clock this morning and said, come to New York, and I would have made that happen. Instead, they wanted to have a little arrest, a little perp walk, a little support of their press conference up in New York, and it's completely avoidable.
Have you been briefed that the NBA investigation was reviewed by the FBI prior to the arrest? Do you know if any of that information was relayed to you prior to this part of the investigation?
What I can tell you is there's a lot of people that are very close-lipped about what happened in 2023, but what I was told is there was an investigation, they interviewed him twice, they took his phone, downloaded everything, and at the end of the day, they said there's nothing to see here and cleared him. And that was a very professional investigation. It wasn't something that was perfunctory. You had FBI agents, you had a vice president within the NBA that was a former prosecutor in SDNY. So it was the real deal. They looked at the same stuff and they said there's nothing here, but you know, we got a trophy hunt.
With teams like the Hornets, Magic, Lakers, Raptors, and Trailblazers, Rozier's lawyer, James Trusty, came out swinging. He said the feds wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. He insisted Terry isn't a gambler, but he's not afraid of a fight. Still, the evidence looks brutal, and the NBA wasted no time. Rozier was placed on immediate leave. Now let's move to the real shocker, Chauncey Billups. Five-time All-Star, 2004 NBA champion, Finals MVP, and Hall of Famer. Inducted just last year, now accused of being a face card in a Mafia-backed poker scam. According to the FBI, starting in 2019, Billups was allegedly used to lure high rollers into rigged poker games in Manhattan, Las Vegas, Miami, and the Hamptons. But these weren't friendly card nights. These were high-tech, mob-controlled traps. We're talking about X-ray tables that read cards, chip tray analyzers sending data to off-site operators, and even contact lenses and glasses that expose marked cards. The shuffling machines, rigged and remote-controlled. Billups' role was simple: win just enough to make it look real, but not so much that anyone caught on. Except one night in April 2019, during a Vegas game, Billups won too much. The mob panicked. They had to adjust the system mid-game just to keep up. By the end, victims had lost over $7.1 million since 2019. Subscribe, because this story's unraveling faster than anyone imagined. And here's the wild part. Chauncey Billups isn't just a suspect. He's listed as co-conspirator number 8 in the indictment. The feds claim he leaked inside info about the Trailblazers to bettors back in 2023. His lawyer, Chris Haywood, fired back hard, saying, "To believe Chauncey Billups did what they're accusing him of is to believe he'd throw away his Hall of Fame legacy, his reputation, and his freedom." He added that Chauncey has never and would never gamble on NBA games or betray the trust of his team.
You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets.
Still, Portland acted fast. Billups was placed on immediate leave, with Tiago Splitter stepping in as interim coach. But that's not all. Enter Damon Jones, former NBA player, ex-Cavs assistant, and LeBron James's longtime shooting coach and close friend. During the 2022-23 season, Jones had full behind-the-scenes access, locker rooms, team planes, even private team meetings, not as an employee, but as LeBron's personal workout partner. And according to the FBI, he weaponized that access. February 9th, 2023, 2 days after LeBron broke Kareem's all-time scoring record, Jones allegedly texted a co-conspirator, "Get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight. LeBron's out. Bet enough so Jones can eat." Sure enough, LeBron sat with ankle soreness, and the Bucks beat the Lakers 115-106. Then, in January 2024, Jones allegedly sold info about an Anthony Davis injury for just $2,500. This is Insider Trading, NBA edition. Subscribe now, because the names in this scandal keep getting bigger.
They'll wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but when they come knocking on your door, they have something. And we all know the letter of the law when it comes to gambling and sports gambling, and I don't want to sit up here like I'm some perfect guy.
Jones's insider tip backfired badly. His partner threw down $100,000 against the Lakers, betting on Anthony Davis to sit out. But the twist, AD played 38 minutes, dropped 27 points and 15 rebounds, and the Lakers won 112-105. Furious, the bettor demanded his $2,500 back. Jones stood by his word, claiming his info was legit. According to The Athletic, LeBron James had no clue this was happening. A league source confirmed he was completely unaware that his own friend, his shooting coach, was selling private injury info behind his back. Talk about betrayal. That's not just business. That's personal. Then, during Amazon Prime's first ever NBA broadcast, Celtics versus Knicks, Commissioner Adam Silver finally addressed the chaos. He admitted the NBA had investigated Rozier back in 2023 after suspicious betting alerts, but found insufficient evidence to punish him. Now, the FBI's evidence blows that case wide open, and the league looks blindsided. Steve Kerr was one of the first to speak up before the Warriors faced Denver. He didn't hold back, saying the gambling pressure on players is real. Kerr even admitted, "I've gotten those texts too. It's weird."
The biggest thing is that our players face a lot of wrath of fans. You know, I know I've talked to our guys. Our guys get nasty social media posts from people who have bet on games, and that's the thing that I don't like, you know, about this the most. I mean, just you know, our players should not have to deal with that, but they do. They probably would anyway. You know, even if we didn't have a partnership with these companies. So it's just kind of the modern life, you know, social media, everyone having access to everyone else. And yeah, it's rough. I mean, I feel bad for our guys. I've gotten some emails in the past, like, you know, from people I don't know saying, "Hey, thanks a lot. I had money on the game tonight, and you screwed up by subbing so-and-so in," or something like that. And, you know, I've gotten those too. It's weird.
Every team gets annual warnings from league lawyers, but clearly that's not enough. Detroit's J.B. Bickerstaff said it best. Now we see how valuable that info is and how fast it spreads. And Clippers coach Ty Lue, one of Billups' closest friends, was heartbroken. He said watching Chauncey's name get dragged through this was devastating. This is more than a scandal. It's the NBA's biggest trust crisis ever. Subscribe, because what's coming next might shake the league to its core. Then Stephen A. Smith poured gasoline on the fire. On ESPN's First Take, he claimed this whole scandal was political. He suggested that Trump, through FBI Director Kash Patel, was targeting the NBA as payback for the league's past activism. Smith brought up Trump's beef with the NBA going back to 2020, when he called them a political organization after players protested against police brutality and racial injustice. But Patel wasn't having it. He went on Fox News' Ingram Angle and shut that theory down. Patel made it clear. The investigation started in 2019, long before Trump ever returned to office. Still, the timing raised eyebrows. Opening week of the NBA season, maximum exposure, maximum embarrassment, and the worst part, it completely overshadowed Victor Wembanyama's historic season opener.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
The 21-year-old phenom exploded for 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 15 of 21 shooting. He joined legends like Wilt Chamberlain, Karl Malone, Elgin Baylor, Walt Bellamy, and Anthony Davis as one of the only players ever to open a season with a 40-15 stat line. He dominated Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks in a 125-92 blowout, a game that should have been headline history. But by sunrise, every show, every tweet, every segment was all FBI, gambling, and corruption. Wemby's brilliance became collateral damage in a scandal that swallowed the entire league. Now the question is, how deep does this really go? The FBI says at least 7 games tied to Rozier, but there are 9 unnamed co-conspirators. Were some of those load management nights or weird rotations actually influenced by gambling whispers? Now every coaching decision in the NBA is under a microscope. Was that rest day really about recovery, or was someone getting paid off? Did the league know more than they're letting on? Commissioner Adam Silver already admitted they saw aberrational behavior back in 2023, yet they still cleared Rozier.
My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed. There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition. And so I had a pit in my stomach. It was very upsetting.
Did they protect the NBA's image instead of the game's integrity? And here's the elephant in the room. The NBA has billion-dollar partnerships with gambling companies. How can the league claim to police the game when it's profiting from the bets themselves? That's like guarding the vault while counting the cash. But the real fear? This might be just the tip of the iceberg. If a Hall of Fame coach, an active star player, and even LeBron's personal friend are all tangled in this, who else is next? The league wanted the 2025-26 season to be a celebration. New stars, new stories, and Victor Wembanyama leading a new era. Instead, it spiraled into the worst scandal since the Tim Donaghy referee case. Maybe even worse, Billups and Rozier are suspended indefinitely. Damon Jones is facing federal charges. LeBron's name is splashed across headlines he never asked for. And yes, the Mafia has officially crept back into professional sports. Fans everywhere are asking the same question. Can we even trust what we're watching anymore? Adam Silver called it deeply disturbing, but that barely scratches the surface. This isn't just a scandal, it's a crisis of trust, of integrity, of the game itself. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this saga isn't over. It's just getting started.